carbon fiber body, 0 fret neck, and a speaker built in. This is the Enya Sonic JT, and I kind of like it, but the price puts it in a tier where it's competing with some serious guitars. Today we are reviewing the Sonic Go JT. Now, I am being paid for this video. They sponsored today's video and sent this out for free, but I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on this guitar, just like I told them I would do. And there are some things that I like, but there are some things as well that I think are unnecessary. If you want to play first consumer smart opinion, this is the place you want to be. Let's dive right in. It's marketed as a carbon fiber composite electric with an asymmetrical 0 fret neck, onboard DSP and presets with Bluetooth and USB, and a built-in speaker system. The street price sits around the mid $400 to $550 range depending on the model and region, but here in Seattle I see it on Amazon for $549. It has a one-piece carbon fiber composite body and neck, and as I say, it has an asymmetrical compound radius neck, which means that up here where my hand is, it's going to be thicker, and as you go higher and higher, it's going to be thinner. And as I said before, it also comes with a 0 fret. Now, if you don't know what that does, that is supposed to really help with the intonation of the guitar. We have a regular 3-way switch, a push-pull pot, I'm assuming for a coil split, and of course the onboard speaker, which is around 10 to 15 watts. I'm not entirely sure about that. It also comes with these Alnico 5 pickups, which were made in collaboration with Jack Thammarat, and we have 22 nickel frets on this guitar. As well, we have a headphone jack and USB-C charger right here on the side. Where this guitar really hits the hardest is playability. The fretwork is wonderful. There's no high frets at all, and there's no fret sprout whatsoever, so the whole entire thing feels extremely high grade and professional. And because we have a carbon fiber composite neck, there is going to be no fret sprout in the future. Typically, even with expensive guitars, over a long, hard, and dry winter, the wood can shrink down ever so slightly, leaving some fret sprout. But with this guitar, that's not really a concern. And that kind of goes for the entire body. It truly is a carbon fiber composite, so it's really, really durable. And if you are a street busker or a traveling musician, that is really some nice peace of mind for you with this guitar. The electronics on this guitar are interesting. As I said, we have 2 Alnico 5 pickups collaborated on with Jack Thammarat, and they do sound quite nice compared to the other Sonic Go model. But where it gets interesting is we have this onboard speaker and an entire little suite of amplifiers made by Enya Music. And it's definitely a big upgrade from the Sonic Go and the Enya Inspire, because we have a bunch of new amps in the app, and they do sound quite a bit better than previous generations. You can use the app on your phone with Bluetooth connectivity to access all of these amps, and there's quite a few on there. And this speaker does get pretty darn loud, so if you're on the street busking, or you just want to be loud playing in your bedroom or something like that, and you don't have an amp with you, it's a perfectly viable solution. But this is where I'll be a bit blunt. It seems like it's more of a novelty than a necessity for most players. I do think there are some situations wherein it could come in handy, but I think for the average guitar player, it's far more novelty than something you would use day to day. The speaker does work as intended, but it doesn't replace an amplifier by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, look, the speaker is cool when you want to noodle without an amp, but it adds cost, weight, and complexity. If Enya were to remove the speaker, I would think they'd be able to save some money and get the price tag a little lower on these guitars. And I think in that $300 price range, you have an incredibly competitive guitar that really wipes the floor with the competition. Or you could put that extra money into something like stainless steel frets, or maybe some name brand pickups, which I personally would prefer. But if you are a street performer or somebody who does not have an amplifier, I will acknowledge that it is a pretty cool solution, and I do like seeing innovations in the guitar market. The fit and finish on my sample are excellent. There's no sharp fret ends, the hardware is perfectly seated, and the carbon fiber and carbon neck components means fewer headaches with the humidity and temperature changes, and less chance of fret sprout or warp over time, and that really is one of the real advantages to a carbon fiber guitar. So to me, this guitar is for somebody who likes to street perform or wants a convenient travel guitar to play with that sounds pretty solid. But outside of that, it's just a pretty well-made guitar. And if you want a guitar that's reliable and sturdy and well-made, this definitely is a viable option for that, especially if you like classic rock tones and a Les Paul style guitar. These pickups are pretty solid, but they're definitely more suited towards classic rock, fusion, and jazz, and less so for heavy metal and death metal, which are my genres of choice. However, I think at $549, you are now starting to really contend with some pretty expensive options in the guitar space. If you buy this guitar for $549, you won't be disappointed. The fretwork is nice, the fit and finish is nice, it's very comfortable, and it's very playable. But I do think that certain things about this guitar add it into a higher price bracket than it needs to be. Now, if Enya is listening to me, my advice for them is to maybe build another guitar without this speaker and put it at a lower price point. I mean, I'm telling you, this guitar does punch well above the $300 and $400 price range with the playability and the fit and finish and the fretwork. It's just this right here probably adds some money that could be used elsewhere. And I don't think there are many guitar players in the American market that are calling for this kind of gimmicky thing on their guitar. I know for me, it's kind of the opposite of what I want. I think without the speaker, it'd be lighter, it'd be more convenient, and it might even be less expensive, which would be awesome. But overall, I mean, I like the Sonic JT. It's a very well-built guitar with nice fretwork and a great finish that's made of carbon fiber. It's unique and it's different and it's interesting, and it just kind of makes you want to play it. I mean, just look at this thing. It's like Tony Stark built a Les Paul. But like I said, I'm not really sure if I like the form factor of this onboard speaker. It doesn't really sound nearly as good as an amplifier does, and I think, like I said before, most guitar players are not calling for an onboard speaker on their guitars. Even though I know there is a burgeoning and growing market for smart guitars, I just don't think it's going to be a major deciding factor for most guitar players, and I'm worried that some people might see this more as a gimmick, a novelty, or even the toy than a great guitar, and overall, this is a great guitar. And so I don't want people to see this guitar and be dissuaded from buying it because it has an onboard speaker. So if you're looking for a nice guitar for $500 or so, this might be an option for you. But if you're especially looking for a guitar with an onboard speaker with a decent app that has a good amount of amplifiers on it now, I don't really know what else you would buy. Enya is the only real option, and the Sonic JT probably is their best offering that they've had so far. If you enjoyed this video and you want more honest gear takes, please drop me a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, would you use the speaker or would you rather just have a guitar that's built well for a little less money? I'll read the comments. Have a good day.